Well, putting a new set of points in the M37. You know, this is, you know, every vehicle's got something that's tricky. Distributor in an M37 is tricky. You know, it's a little tough to get at. Do it a few times and you get used to it, but I knew my points were starting to go bad. They weren't opening all the way. You know, they just closed up, you know, that little rubbing block, the wears, and the points burn a little, and eventually they get to the point where they don't open anymore. And I think I'm in good shape now. But it's always a little nerve-wracking. You know, I've got quite a few spare parts for these, but distributor, or igniter as they prefer to call it, it's a little complicated because it's got the coil built into it, and there's an inner distributor cap and an outer distributor cap. You know, that outer one seals it to make it waterproof. But I'm always a little nervous about damaging one of them into taking it apart. I think I have one spare inner. But, you know, it's always a chancy deal on these, because it isn't like I got a lot of spare parts for them. And everything you need is 2 weeks away, you know. So, I keep most of the stuff on hand, but it can get a little iffy, or it concerns you. But this job, you know, I carry enough tools with me. I have had to do this on the road before, but my theory now is to do it. We got a warm day, it's like 40-some degrees. Do it now so I don't have to do it in the middle of winter. That is not pleasant. But this way I was able to run the motor, warm it up. But a lot of the complexities of this comes from the whole waterproof aspect. You know, it's like these plug wires are the aircraft style. You know, it makes things a little more complicated. And even the distributor has got two vacuum lines running down to it. They run up into the carburetor because they circulate air through the distributor. Everything is vented to the carburetor on this, or to the intake manifold. I mean, everything, you know, your brake master cylinder, your gas tank, everything vents through there, which is what makes it waterproof up to the depth of the air cleaner. And deeper if you put the snorkel on. But geez, you know, I got the distributor buried way down in there. And then I see I got a wire I could replace or repair. That's the oil pressure switch. It does help though that on these you can flop that hood all the way up, you know, right up against the cab. You can actually even pull the motor that way without having to take the hood off. Hopefully I'll never have to do that. But like I say, these old points, you know, it was something I knew was coming on because you can kind of tell, like, when you first started, maybe it runs on like 4 cylinders and pops on 1 cylinder, but as soon as you rev it up, it goes away. That's just because of the mechanical advance. When that opens, it takes up any clearances in the shaft, you know, and tightens up the points. There's always a little play in there. So I can tell, you know, when they're starting to go bad, but that's what I figured, do it now. And it is. I'm back to Napa. I've got 3 spare sets of them on hand. Point's not a bad deal. But that, you know, like I say, every vehicle has got some weird thing to it that is hard to work on. And points is a thing on an M37. Because of the waterproofing and the way they bury them down in there. It isn't like you can just pull off your distributor cap. You actually have to pull the distributor. Which means, you know, you have to find your top dead center and make sure you get it back in the right position. But it's all doable, and I've done it before. I just don't like doing it when it's 20 below. So now is the time to get it done.